All right, our guest today, first guest, is a very charming individual. His name's James Deen. That's D-E-N. Welcome, James.
Really? It's D-E-E-N.
That's right,
It's not
it is.
James Den.
Good point. Well
What is
played.
wrong with you? His blog is jamesdeanblog.com. Very entertaining.
Spell
very
that out
funny.
again.
James, D-E-E-N, blog.com.
Very good. Welcome, James.
Thank you. I feel welcomed.
Great. And who's our other guest? Why don't you spell this one right,
Traci
Jake?
Stumpf. And you can check out her website, Sean and Traci. That's Tracy with an I. SeanandTracyShow.com.
And it's Sean, S-H-A-W-N, right?
It is.
Not seen Sean type spelling. You know what I mean?
I can't believe you spelled it D-E-N. Like, that's ridiculous.
Just relax.
I like the fact that you just spelled something wrong and
I-
it's recorded.
Yeah, that's a
the
good
best.
point. That's a good point. A lot of you aren't in on the joke that are listening, but Traci Stumpf is not the best speller on the
That's funny
planet.
because she spelled everything correctly so far.
Yep,
Yep,
sure did.
that's great. We're off to a great start.
Yeah, it's going well.
We won't be seeing Traci anywhere in terms of making appearances because she'll be in Greece for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
But
she said that about how many times?
This will be the 9th.
first time
That's got
recorded, though.
Now, so Greece is a
True.
country, or?
I don't maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
confusing.
Island Nation, maybe?
Yeah.
So where do we start? I don't even
Let's
know.
start with James.
Okay.
Okay, so where are you originally from? You're originally from L.A.?
Yeah. Pasadena.
What a native!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Burbank.
Awesome.
Not to make this about me,
Really?
I
but
used
yeah.
to get drunk in Burbank.
No,
Yeah.
I would. Where? Maybe
Here and there.
that's exciting.
Have you actually? And it's something we haven't talked about, but have you ever gone to Sardo's for that porn star karaoke?
Yeah.
Well, it already doesn't sound fun.
I've been there.
What is that like? Because I've never been to it.
It's probably like karaoke.
Well,
With porn stars?
it's more like what do you I thought it was super sensitive. I wasn't supposed to touch it. I just touched my mouth.
That's what he said.
There's no double entendres here. It's just technical issues we were working out.
I insisted on sitting about a foot and a half away from the microphone, just so everybody.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a
Hot
diva
world.
so far. Just kidding, you're not. You're fine.
Well, I did bring my crown. I haven't put it on yet. I plan to. Whenever you start talking to Tracy instead of me, I plan on putting on the crown and taking off my shirt and swinging it around my head. Just
Great.
so
That sounds like
Okay,
that sounds like a
something-
party.
Sounds
something
like
to
a
look forward
Friday.
to.
Yeah.
Very prepared. Okay, so two Los Angelinos, do you get a lot of people going, no way, I never meet people from LA? Like, that's whenever I meet someone from LA, that's the automatic response. Oh my God, what is it like growing up here?
I actually get quite often. I get really. I thought you were from New York because my grandparents are like super hardcore Brooklyn headites.
Brooklynites, I think, is right.
Brooklynites, yeah, that sounds about right. They're like Brooklyn Jews from Brooklyn with Brooklyn accents, very Brooklyn.
Has anybody here been knighted yet? Brooklynites?
Okay.
Nailed
yeah,
it.
The thing is, you actually sound
Yeah,
like you have a bit of a
that's-
Brooklyn accent.
that's
I grew up in
too.
Brooklyn. Yeah, because your
I
parents.
was raised by them, and so they, I spent a lot of time with them growing up, and so I was raised as if I was in Brooklyn, even though I was not. And I talk. I'm gonna say it like a Californian. I can't do it. I talk like I'm from Brooklyn.
This is going to be a very
because-
neurotic episode. I'm so excited
Dude,
about
there's
this.
so many Jews in the room.
Except for Tracy. Oh, 3 Jews and a lady. That's great.
Yeah.
What is that, a band you're starting?
Yep.
Nailed it.
Anyway, so just as a question, you were living here when you were 18, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's when you started in the porn business, right?
Yes,
All right.
that is
So
correct.
I guess my question is, how did that happen? Like, did you always know? Like, how did you start? A little bit of background would be
Inspiration.
Long story, short story, medium story.
medium.
All right, so I always wanted to do porn for as long as I can remember, and so when I turned 16, I had the bright idea of like going, okay, I'm going to do porn when I turn 18. I didn't know how I was going to like do it. I just knew I was going to, and my plan, which turned out to be incredibly successful, was I was just going to go to Hollywood on the weekends and bang chicks from Hollywood, and eventually one of the girls that I was having sex with would somehow have been into doing porn, and sure enough, I banged this girl, and she had an into doing porn. And so when I turned 18, I contacted the people that she gave me the number of, and they gave me someone else's number, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I got naked and had sex with someone in front of a lot of people, and now I do that for a living.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That is
That's-
that's like the coolest story I've ever heard in my life. This is like people's dream. Like that's
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people get
Each
into
your
porn the
Hollywood
same way you
story.
did. That's awesome. Yeah, first off, yeah, congrats, because that is really a lot of people.
you are being proactive.
Yeah,
I tried.
Whenever I read interviews or anything with female performers who say, what advice would you give to anyone getting into business? You know, they say for a lot of guys, get ready to do gay porn or get ready to have to really, it's
I
going
don't
to be
think
tough.
it's like that anymore. I think that was like
That
that
is-
in like the 80s, maybe the early 90s or something
Right,
like
right.
that.
That
But
is what it
nowadays, I
sounds
think
like.
It's just you just kind of show up and you're like, hey, here's my penis.
Right.
Somebody's gonna give you money to put it in someone. and
Sure.
If you can do it, then you get more work, and if you aren't able to rise to the occasion, but bump.
This is comedy too, yeah.
Oh yes,
And that
let
was a
the
joke.
comedy commence.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you just don't really work very much or at all. So I mean, I
Tracy is so excited right
I
now.
think this is so cool. This is. I think it's exciting. Do you ever feel the pressure?
Well, Eli and I have had this conversation. I'm actually about 12 seconds away from going to the bathroom and having a panic attack. So I mean, I pretty much am constantly under pressure.
Yeah.
Pretty much whenever I leave my house, and sometimes just being in my house. I mean, that's pressure enough, because that's terrifying. You're indoors. I mean,
Yeah.
what's more terrifying?
Shit could happen.
Seriously, so much shit could happen.
You're
indoors.
definitely Jewish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're Jewish. Yeah.
So yeah, and so yeah, I'm always constantly nervous. Every time I'm on set, I feel like somehow I've managed to fake my way through my career thus far. I've been doing porn for 6.5 years, pretty successfully, if I do say so myself. And I feel for some reason every day I'm gonna show up to set and everyone's gonna be like, "We caught you. You're lying to everybody. That's not really your penis. You're using someone else's or something." Like that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Or something, and I don't know.
So that's actually interesting because I mean I feel like anxiety is antithetical to erections. I mean, you know what I mean? Like
you think so, but in fact, for some reason, it is actually very helpful and useful for me because I'm a crazy person, and pretty much I show up on set and I'm terrified and freaking out and oh so nervous. And then the second I start making out with a girl or I grab a boob, I'm like, oh, dude, boobs are cool. And then I don't really pay attention to any of my anxiety. And so it kind of allows me to almost become a different person and be instead of being Brian, who's the crazy neurotic Jew, I get to be James Deen, who's this suave guy who totally can bang chicks and not be nervous wherever he goes.
Alter ego.
Yes, I'm like Superman
Oh my gosh! And Clark Kent.
rolled into one to
Oh,
create
this is.
a weird.
And then
It turns out that Superman and Clark Kent are
Was the
also
same
rolled
person,
into
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So that's just a revelation for everybody.
Okay, I wanted
That's
to.
why I kind of
think that
just
was
stopped
rude,
that
yeah.
joke.
I think
That's
that
why
was-
when I
Yeah,
started
I got
talking,
you.
I was
Yeah.
I'm just going to shut up and hope nobody mentions that. But, whatever. I'm just going to throw a cat at you later.
Eli's really good at continuing jokes that need to stop. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's
Sure.
so good at that, and that's why I love him.
Then
I
he'll tell
really
you how
love him.
funny they were once
Yeah,
before.
yeah, he's
He'll be like,
great.
"This killed once."
Yeah.
No, it
It'll
killed
kill
many
again.
times. Not just and it's going to kill again.
It's gonna kill again.
Absolutely.
So,
Right, yeah. I'm in the business of killing with jokes, and that's a positive.
Okay, here's a question. I just want to go back a little bit. I like to go back and just rehash the past. When you knew for as long as possible you wanted to do porn. Any specific reason? They're just super hot chicks, or you're just no, I want to do porn. This is something I really feel like I can do.
I don't know. When I was, the first time I saw porn, I was in kindergarten or something.
Yes.
And I was,
Oh my god.
yeah. And, should I?
Where were you raised?
Pasadena?
Pasadena,
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
And
Okay.
I was walking home from school, and I was on a horse trail, which it's a horse trail.
It's the famous Pasadena horse trail.
Well, this one was actually in La Cañada, if you want to be exact.
Okay, I do.
But I was, walking on the La Cañada horse trail, and there's houses and there's it's a trail for horses. There's houses on one side and the school on the other, and some other shit on the other and stuff. And somebody had thrown from their house over the fence onto the horse trail some pornography. And I discovered this pornography, and I was just looking through it, and I was just like, this is the most amazing thing ever. I want to be that guy. That is what I want to do when I grow up. And ever since then, I had always wanted to do that.
Did you keep that magazine?
No.
That'd be a beautiful story.
Put it on
Here
your-
it is right now.
He pulls out a
I have it
vision
in my
board.
wallet, actually, to remind me.
That is really interesting. So you were exposed to it at an early age, and at no point did you ever jump to a track where you were like, okay, maybe I'll go to college, or maybe I'll do this, or maybe I'll do that.
No, my education career is bizarre because I am, like I said earlier, a crazy person. So what I did educationally, I got kicked out of lots of schools, and then
For
basically
banging chicks.
Well, no, I got kicked. No, I'm not. I actually never got kicked out for No, I never got kicked out for banging chicks. I did get in trouble one time. Actually, I got in trouble a couple times for doing sexual things at school. But basically what happened is I graduated high school when I was 15 because in California there's this lovely thing called the California High School Proficiency Exam, which essentially is a GED. The only difference is instead of getting a certificate that says GED, you get one that says diploma. And so I actually do have a high school diploma, which I got when I was 15, and then I started going to junior college in Pasadena when